Hey, welcome back to Let's Play RiME. Just making further progress on this puzzle. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, except it looks like I'm just breaking down these towers, which will then give me platforms to jump across and hopefully solve my next first puzzle. I must have turned the wrong way. I turned right. I should have probably turned left to begin with. I'm trying to get up there, huh? But there's also another interacting... I'll head left this way first. One, because it's probably not the right way. Or it's not the... Oh, well, gee, I don't know. What? There's something to be interacted with in that direction. It might actually be the thing that solves the puzzle ultimately, but also it might have a secret. Who knows? Maybe another keyhole. Because God knows I didn't collect enough keyholes, thank God. That's strange. Normally, virtually every other jump required me to run right to the very ledge, and my character would actually sort of balance himself precariously for just a moment before being able to jump, just to maximize just how far you go. Maybe the secret's in there, or maybe not. It doesn't matter. I guess I went the right way after all. Yep, the fox is here. That looks seriously despondent, the fox. Okay, so now you know I've sort of begun. It's really important, I've found, in games to end on a really strong high note. Because have I spoken about Super Mario Odyssey, which I played through, and for the most part I was enjoying it, but I realized that it's, you know, certainly no masterpiece, as Joseph Anderson put it, but also it reached the point where it became obvious to me that this game hadn't really developed any further than when it had what I had played back in my youth, my childhood, on Super Mario 64. I mean, I was enjoying it, but I realized that it was nothing necessarily new or outright special. Okay, so I've walked all the way back to the kid. Let me head back anti-clockwise. I might be able to solve some puzzles if I look at them from the opposite perspective. Ooh, I spat on my pop filter, yuck. So, you know, Super Mario Odyssey, I was enjoying it, but it reached the point where I realized that it became a little bit predictable. It was beginning to stagnate, but then it threw me a really special bone, which I won't mention. I don't think I want to... It's not really a spoiler per se, but if you're somebody like me who really loved playing Super Mario 64 in their childhood, and it kind of means a lot to them as well, then I won't spoil it. You should give it a play. But not only that, it reached a point towards the end of the game where I was like, yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part, but it never really threw any especially challenging curveballs my way. It was fairly, you know, people talking like, yeah, there are challenging moments, but the game never really requires you to do these long jump into a hat throw, into a dive onto the hat, into a further hat throw, and then another dive. The game never has a compulsory segment where that's required. It's always sort of very simple, and that hat throw nonsense is always left for optional or, you know, hidden content, or just, which is not really hugely important, or for just optional content. Not even. It was never really required. There were no points where the game demanded such high level mastery from you, even towards the very end. But the game had the sense to correctly end on a high note with a serious goodbye and thank you so much for playing. And it was a really heartfelt moment for me. I realized that, wow, just because of the way it ended, suddenly it elevated this game from being kind of like a solid, you know, 7 out of 10 game for me to like a very high 9 out of 10. Based solely on the ending. Even though, for the majority of the game, I was playing it, I was thinking it was, you know, it's 7 out of 10. And even then, I'm inflating the score up because you know how it is. If somebody says 6 out of 10 for any kind of piece of media, it's riot. Because 6 out of 10 means bad, which is ridiculous. 5 out of 10 should be average. 4 out of 10 should be below average. 6 out of 10 should be above average. 7 out of 10 should be good. 8 out of 10 should be like very high quality. 9 out of 10 should be excellent, and 10 out of 10 should be near perfection. in my opinion. But typically, when it comes to ratings, it's rated on a 4 or a 3-point scale. 6 is bad, 7 is good, 8 is really good, 9 is wonderful, and 10 is... Oh, heck, it basically starts at 7, really. Anything less than the 7 sucks, 7 is good. Yeah, enough of this conversation, it's not going anywhere. And especially since I need to concentrate on how to get up there. Which is confusing to me because I thought... Oh, you're meant to jump from here. That's the pillar you need to jump across. And I can see that ledge, that lengthy ledge right over there. How do I reach it? I need to reach it from here. Bang, bang. Here. Oh, hey. Well, truth be told, I have no idea what I'm doing. But you don't need to know that. I need to make it onto this ledge. That's up here. I'm just trying to reverse engineer. Am I meant to actually jump down? No, I'm probably... If this has some... If I can stand on top of that pillar, then that is the way to go. No, yeah. There's a handhold on that pillar. Okay. Working it out backwards. You know, I know where the start point is. It's somewhere around here. And then I'll start the platforming challenge. Why did I end the platforming challenge right after I got the toy? That seemed a little bit short-sighted of me. Oh, hey, am I actually meant to jump? I jumped over that way instead of jumping this way. Huh. Strange that I should see the secret first and not the solution. Not the main path. I wonder, is that... Yeah, see, one of the things which I assume part of playtesting involves... There's going to be some level of statistical analysis because you'll be presumably playtesting with a large group of people, hopefully. And so, you know, there's going to be some variance between people who see and people who don't. So one of the worst things about pandering to the lowest common denominator is that if you pander to the lowest common denominator, then we're talking like 90% of the players are going to find it way too easy or way too obvious. Let's give this a moment to see this happen. Oh, and the kid cries before. Let me just watch the fox disappear. So now that's tugging at my heartstrings. So as I was saying, if you pander to the lowest common denominator, then this is something like 90 in your level design and level balancing. 90% of the players are going to find it too easy. If you make it like 50%, then I still think that's too low of a percentage. Too high a percentage, because that means half the people will probably get it on the first go, the other half will not, and the other half will probably might take anywhere between 1 extra try to maybe 5 extra tries, who knows. Here's the next spot. I need to tug down on that somehow, but I don't know how to reach it. Could I just jump from up here? Was that literally a solution? And because I don't see a handhold, which is why it seems a little bit not intuitive. I'll try one more time just to make sure. So, you know, you probably want to make it such that something like maybe 20, maybe even less percentage of your players get it their first go. Especially if it's something that you're trying to be skill-based or something that requires a level of mechanical skill or finesse or something or other. Probably want the top 20% to be the people to get it first go. The other remaining 80% should be required to try it a couple more times again. Wow, there was a handhold right over here. In order to actually get it right, I would say. And this is, of course, something that should be a very basic, obvious mechanic. Say something like you're tutorializing a new mechanic in the game. You want it generally to be something, you want it to pander to the lowest common denominator initially. But if you say 80 past the halfway point in the game, whoa. There you go. That's how you make the seesaw. I knew it was going to be a seesaw, but I didn't know how. Yeah, this is something that my Shovel Knight analysis video is going to be about, this player mental model. Initially, you probably do want to make sure that basic fundamental mechanics are taught in a very isolated fashion to make sure everybody gets it almost immediately. But beyond that, especially approaching the tail end of the game, you want to make sure that if you keep doing this, if you keep pandering to the lowest common denominator, even approaching the end of the game, when teaching new mechanics, it feels stale, feels a bit stagnant, feels very boring and very hand-holding and it's not fun. Or rather, you're foregoing a more fun alternative, which would involve having the player exercise some critical thinking and actually try to solve something organically on their own by, using their own mental model and their own understanding, logically thinking through the various scenarios of what could happen, and then solving this new mechanic first go without it having necessarily been tutorialized to you, just realizing that, inference to the best explanation. You think you have an idea, let's execute it. It works, hooray, that feels fantastic. As opposed to going step by step of, here's a new mechanic, let's try it in isolation, let's build it up, let's make it a little bit more complicated, so on and so forth. It's excellent at the beginning of the game, not so much approaching the end of the game. Now let's see if I can do this one by one at a time. Or I did two at a time. Let's do the other two. Oh no, not the fox too. And the controller is shaking vigorously right now. Oh. Well. That certainly was unexpected. Every time I move, you can hear a crack and screaming. If I just shake. I am the shade. Am I your new king? If they bow, this is gonna be... Okay, no. I just remember the main character's name from Detroit Become Human. Marcus. I just remembered it was Marcus. Oh! Was the shaded figure the king, which I presume to be my father? I'm so glad the cape has remained red, because stylistically it looks awesome, but also I realize it's because the silhouette is necessary in order for the player to see where they're going. Especially in this really shiny black. No, jump, please. Especially in this shiny black environment. Okay. Up we get. Please climb up. Thank you. The controls a little bit finicky when you're on a... I didn't mean to jump left. I tried to climb up. Thank you. That looks like it's something important. What exactly? Why do you jump right, left, up? Yes, thank you. Oh, hello. The chains of liberty. I see. So, I'm just mentally backtracking through the game. Initially, you start off waking up on an island. So you might have died, actually, truth be told. Can I jump down? Yeah, it's jumping down. When unlocking the fox, there was a fox statue which you had to, shout out all the individual pieces to unlock. And then this fox follows you to this point in the game where suddenly the same fox is then used for the purpose of unlocking a statue that's very reminiscent of the player character. I wonder what the significance of that is. Jumping to the left. And oh, you can probably run up here. Yes. This is nice. Looks really good. Organic. I don't exactly know what I'm doing up here. Truth be told, just that this is the only way to progress. It's also interesting to see that I've become pitch black, much in the same way that when I get completely sucked off by the shades, I should not phrase it that way. When the Dementors really suck away my spirit, I become black the same way, don't I? But then I normally die. Now it seems that is who I am. Is it press B to climb that? Yep, it is. I'll automatically I didn't automatically... What? Wait, was this here before? Or is this a new shortcut? Thank God. Thank you, game. Good design. Good design. I wonder if this should be a longer episode. Oh, maybe I was meant to drop down, actually. I wonder if this will be a longer episode, especially since this smells very decisively final with the way this has developed the narrative and the plot. Because suddenly I'm feeling like... No, it's acceptable, right? For when you have a final episode that's... Or a finale that's, generally speaking, just a little bit longer. Dark Souls boys. That's me rolling. Do you guys remember how to roll this whole time? Wow, I'm lit. Is that the lighting doing that to me, or is that actually... Nice reflection, by the way. I love it when games do this, when they have like a big hall with a reflective floor. You know, like Legend of Zelda, for example. Am I actually white, or is that just... Is that the lighting, or is my character actually turned white? Because to me, it looks like my character is white. Oh! The top! Of the tower! Or am I climbing down? This is where we started. With the fox. Hey, no, we're upside down. We're on the underside, we're reflected. Hey, that's cool. Instant transmission. So this is essentially the top, right? No, that's the top. That's the top keyhole there. I'm accessing the next area from... okay. Just enjoy the music for now. I don't think I ought to really be talking too much. I miss the fox. I'll be honest. I do think that fox moment could have been better done because well, I mean, we all love animals, right? No one really hates animals, so to speak. Having a fox, essentially, like, I guess metaphorically died. Yeah, it's always sad if an animal dies because they're innocent, right? But having it such that I wasn't quite convinced of the kid's sadness of the fox dying. I think it could have been done better. Oh. Okay, that's one way to really flip the script on his head, huh? So welcome back. It seems that when on the boat, it didn't look like I was some boy in a toga. It looked like I was wearing a... Oh no. I looked like I was wearing a rain jacket. It looked like the present day, but for some reason, everything that I've been experiencing thus far has been more or less kind of like ancient Greek style looking. Oh, that explains the toys, huh? Because I was a child who played with these toys. Yeah, I'm not jumping. Oh, those are the stars, no? You know that saying? You know, if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you? It's like, no, I'm not giving it to peer pressure. Just psych, kidding. And I was wondering why keys are a metaphor in this game. I think our questions will be answered right now. Was it a lighthouse? Was that what I was climbing up? Sort of the... Because it sounds, by the sound of what's outside, it sounds like they live on an island, or this man lives on an island, the father presumably. And there's probably a lighthouse, and this is the key to his bedroom. And there are his toys. Oh no. I guess that's what, if I'd collected a little bit more, maybe. Maybe there'd be more toys, huh? So there might be a true ending? I'm still thinking back to that in episode 1 or 2. How was I meant to get that bird again? Are there emblems here? Okay. I hate to ruin the mood a little bit, but now I'm not so sure what I'm meant to do. I guess turn back, and then... Yeah, have one. Oh! Well, that, I suppose, is the conclusion. Wow, that was a little bit more heartfelt. I still have some questions about the fox. The man in the cape. Was that just meant to be a representation of the father? Or... Well... I think it ended on a fairly good, on a fairly positive note. Should I share my opinion? No, maybe not. Certainly, I do think it could have been better in many places. Production, unsung heroine. Did I see that mentioned? That's really cool. I completely ignored people like the programmers and the VFX. I would have liked to see that actually, because this game was in development hell for a little bit of a while. It was first shown, I believe, in 2013, and it only released last year, 2017. Believers and everyone at Tequila works in memoriam. Oh. Rufino the Gatekeeper, the second line. That's a very interesting name. Oh, Tequila Roadworks, of course, there mustn't be English developers. Yeah, ultimately, I think it started off okay, it didn't really develop for a while in the middle, but towards the end, it did pick up some of the slack. And make a worthwhile experience right towards the end. We finally have a fox at home. Foxes are not really that great pets. They're really high maintenance. I know this is good to read. To my wonderful wife, thanks for all the love, support, and patience. Love you, Gigi. Oh, and a colon smiley face. Oh. Well, normally this is the time where I normally speak about, future projects of mine. I have a few in store. Something of a high production video. I'm hoping it'll come out within the week of this being recorded. Today's like the 20th, I think. 22nd, 25th, I think. It's the 25th today, so maybe within a week. You won't see this for a whole week. You won't see this until like the 31st. So hopefully that'll come out by the end of the week, this high production video, but it might take 2 weeks because there's a lot I'll have to learn, in particular video effects. Yep, stretching. Post-recording stretch, it's worthwhile. Keep the blood flowing. Never got that phone call, which has me very happy. And look at the stars coming out, that's nice. Hopefully, I've been promising to get back to Rain World. Look, I'm working towards it, I promise. And getting into Dust Force, that's something I've been meaning to play for a while. Still plenty of games in my Steam library. There are some games on sale. If I want to play something more recent, I could buy something from the Steam sale, but I'd rather not. I'd rather get through my backlog and play along with you guys. Dude, I mean, if anyone's watching this, be sure to share. I mean, not share, I mean, comment specifically about criticisms and the likes. Lots of things that went untouched in this game, I'm realizing. Personally, me, I'm not talking about the developers. I never really did get all the keyholes. I must have missed quite a few of them. That's okay, though. Was it a fox because I had a fox toy? Or was there something else to it? There might also be a true ending to this game. If, something like Tesla Garage, where if you collected all the hidden collectibles, the ending changes. I think there might be more than one ending depending on how many collectibles you have. No, I believe there's just the 2 endings. Something I'm thinking about this game, about how it encompassed a really sort of very heartfelt moment. Essentially, this was the game about, I guess you could say, in a sense, accepting death. But something that bothers me about it is that the format it chose to follow was something it's typical. It's typical for a game that plays like this, where it's a 3D puzzle platformer and it's very ambient, very atmospheric, etc. Wait, whoa, a Forgotten City, performed by Lindsay Sterling? What the shit? Yo! That's fucking sick! I love Lindsay Sterling. She's a violinist on YouTube. She's a pop violinist. So as far as violinists go, Lindsay Sterling she's not fantastic per se. She's not like some exceptional prodigy or anything. But definitely, yeah, she makes entertaining and she's talented and she makes entertaining music online. Thanks for playing RiME. No, thank you for letting me play it. Should I finish my train of thought? I will. Yeah, games that take this format tend to be about some kind of... They tend to be a little bit more esoteric and a little bit more ambient and... what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's just, you know, it tends to be atmospheric, ambient and whatnot. So usually you can expect some kind of heartfelt message like this right towards the end. The format... to me, it's a little bit disappointing because I'm sure you could have such a heartfelt, touching moment and execute it better in a more traditional gaming format. So, you know, something like what the likes of what Supergiant Games make, how they have, you know, it's a game first and foremost, but then there's still a very strong, powerful narrative to it, which is very multifaceted and really different people get different things out of the game, and it can be quite emotional, you know. Heck, even the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games made me cry like a baby when I was like 14 years old because of just how it's a game first and foremost, but then sure, the narrative isn't necessarily delivered in an exceptional way. It's mostly dialogue and text, but by the end of it, it was really kind of it really tugged at your heartstrings. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Do stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more videos coming in the future, but until then, hope to see you then. Hope to see you later. Bye. Cut, come back to me. Guys, I found something. Stage select. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. That's the model for grief. It's not, I realize it's not entirely accurate, not in the modern day. And it has a collectibles. That's really good. You can go back and play that if you wish. I'm not going to, but this is the denial, so I'm not dead. Anger with a bird. Bargaining, this is in the forest, depression through the rain, and acceptance towards the end. Voila, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.